Welcome to our first meeting of 2026. Today is January 7th. I'm Tom Tobin. I am your Sergeant of Arms, and I'm happy to see you all here. Let's see. We are going to start out with oh, by the way, first of all, we do have a guest this morning, Alan Taylor. Alan's in the very back there. Alan, just wave. He came to watch. And along with his buddy Barney Kempter. He came to watch Bob DiBiasio. Alan came and enjoyed that, and so we're going to chat a little bit about what it takes to maybe join our club. So don't pressure him though, okay? He's a nice guy. All right, let's see. Let's get an invocation this morning. Could I ask Marilyn Orr, a good Catholic girl, to help us with this morning? There we go.
A good Catholic girl indeed. Okay, here we go. The nuns, they did have an influence, we have to admit. Okay. We can reconfirm our commitment to high ethics in all we do. And we give thanks for all the blessings, opportunities, and responsibilities that befall on us as Rotarians. We continue in this new year with optimism, renewed energy, and a commitment to service to you, our Father, and our fellow men and women. Please, Lord of the universe, help us to serve. Amen.
Wow, that was so good. Why don't you do the Pledge of Allegiance, the four-way test, too?
The hook.
Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And for the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Number 1, is it truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Great job, Marilyn. Thank you. All right, what else am I forgetting? Keith? I don't think you're forgetting anything. All right, I'm out of a routine. 2 weeks off, and yeah. He's got notes up here, though. All right, and we will be back to regular Rotabuck tickets next week. So thank you, Ben, for bringing them in, and we'll be back to our usual scheme there. All right.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first meeting of 2026. It's great to see everybody this morning. Kind of like Tom was saying, getting back into the swing of things. It's kind of interesting when you have 2 weeks off, just how kind of like out of the routine you get. So we're going to have a fun meeting this morning. We're going to first start off with discussing birthdays and anniversaries. I want to thank Marilyn for sending me the list of birthdays and anniversaries for the month of January. We have quite a few. So we're going to start going down the line. January 3rd was Elizabeth Kwolek. January 5th, and I do apologize if I pronounce his last name incorrectly, it's Chuck Nina Boofy. January 8th, Mike Swain. January 13th is Kyle Bresnovic. January 14th is Phil Buto. January 17th is Father Joe Boisel. January 25th, we have George Snyder, our honorary member. January 27th is Ralph Day. January 28th is Rich Warfield. So can we all join in a rousing rendition of Happy Birthday to everybody? So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Very nice. And then for our anniversaries, we have Terry Bortnick, who has 5 years with the club. Evan McCauley has 11 years. Catherine Sines has 13 years. And then our honorary member, Thomas Vince, has 56 years with the club. So, in Rotary. So thank you very much and congratulations to everyone. So Charitable causes. So last month we were collecting for the food pantry here in town. I'm not really sure, Terry. Okay, so Haven and Rust, socks and gloves. So, some of us might have got a few extra like socks or gloves for the holidays that maybe we don't need, but there's definitely family members that are out there, and if not, you can definitely run out to a store, Kohl's or whatever that's around, and pick up some nice socks and gloves for some very needy individuals. Haven of Rust does a fantastic job there in downtown Akron serving our community. So let's look at helping out with that. We have a club board of directors meeting immediately following this meeting, so all are invited to attend if you so desire. With that, I really don't have anything else on the agenda. Like I said, it's kind of like getting used to kind of sliding back into being back in Rotary after a 2-week vacation. Does anybody have things that they want to add? I see Mimi has her hand up. Do you want to come up? I did mention that, but thank you for reminding everybody again. No, it's okay. I'm boring. People tune me out pretty quick. I take no offense. I'm very used to it. 56 years of being tuned out, so that's fine. But thank you, Mimi. What else? Does anybody have anything that they would like to announce, anything they'd like to discuss? Rich, do you have anything from the, do you have any final numbers from the floral? I mean, did we talk about that already from the fall fundraiser? Or just, come on down, birthday boy. Oh, well, I was going to say, I did that personally, but yes, welcome back, Ron. We are so happy to have you back here. Glad that you're doing well. We are glad that you're doing better. We all thought about you and prayed for you, and we're glad that you're on the mend. So welcome back, Ron.
It sounds like a TV show.
Yeah, it is. It could be a great like sitcom.
With the star.
Are you going to be Horseshack or Vinnie Barbarina?
I haven't decided yet.
See, I'm old enough to remember that show.
Catherine gets concerned when I babble on. I'll just make it quick to the point. We did roughly about 5,100 in receipts, okay? And then the expenses were, for the flowers were about 1,430. And I did want to say, as my wife and my mother finally threw out their floor arrangement, that those flowers lasted a long time. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody was pretty happy with them. Same with the roses. I know roses don't last as long, but so those expenses were $1,430. So I think we're going to net around $3,600 for the event. Okay. And then we have to, as Pat knows, and a few other on the other committee, we have to circle the wagons on what we're going to do for February. Mm-hmm. So with the school.
Right.
So that's all I have to say.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. Anybody else have any announcements or anything club related that they would like to discuss with the group before we get to our presentation?
Maybe what about the kind of thing?
Yeah.
I did bring some of this. This apparently the service learning program is having presentations by the students on their random acts of kindness and what they've learned from it. Mm-hmm. And I think that is on the 13th and 14th. And Marilyn sent a note about mm-hmm. that, and the whole thing is there so that if people would please open the note from Marilyn that came yesterday, okay, and find a slot because they're missing people for the different presentations. So,
yeah. No, that sounds good. Thank you for bringing that up. And I did see that in the email that Marilyn sent out.
So if you do click on the link, it takes you to a Google Doc. And as Kelly and I found out, right, you don't say submit or save. You simply put your name in and then close it, and it automatically puts it in there. So.
Oh, good. Thank you for sharing that.
It's a little bit of confusion if you're not. Right. So it's a little confusion if you're not used to Google Docs. At least it was for me.
Well, thank you for sharing that because I'd be like totally confused. But yeah, so if we can take a look at that link that came out yesterday in the email from Marilyn. Let's see what we can do to help out the service learning group. I know some of us participated last month in their project for the community engagement that they're looking at doing. I personally went and saw the presentation for the ice rink that they discussed, and it was really a lot of fun being part of the school and being able to help out the kids. So again, if you have the time in your schedule, please take a look at what's available and see if you can help them out. So with that, I guess we don't have any other club. Oh, Patrick, come on up.
Saturday, April 26th will be the dedication of the Skilled Trades Education Center.
Oh, fantastic.
It gets pushed back a little bit because of weather in December.
Sure.
Cooperating, but we are on par to have a grand opening on that Saturday, 26th at 9 a.m. at camp.
That's fantastic. And I remember we had a presentation regarding that, so I know we were all really excited about what was going on there, so let's definitely plan on visiting. And did we send, has that date and time been sent out yet to the club, or? Okay, we just make sure that that gets sent out, that's, so we don't forget. I think that'd be an excellent thing for us to go and visit, so thank you for sharing that. And, it's Ohio. I mean, you never really count on the weather here in Ohio, right? So, there you go. What's the date again, Patrick? April 25th, 9 a.m.? 25th, 26th? Okay, all right, thank you. Anybody else? All right, let's move into our featured presentations. I would like to have Catherine come on up. Catherine is handling the presentations this month. And here you go. Take it away, Catherine.
Thank you. Good morning, Rotarians. Good morning. I'd like to introduce Dr. Heather Evans, the owner and founder of Orodrip Mobile, a concierge IV hydration and wellness company. Heather brings over 17 years of nursing experience and holds a doctorate of nursing practice degree. She launched Orodrip out of the passion for wellness, health, and helping others feel their best, making high-quality hydration and wellness services accessible wherever people need them. And I didn't have to go very far to find Heather. She lives right next door to me. So it was easy. I saw her company on the side of the car, and I started asking her, what are you doing now? Because she works for the hospital, too. And she started talking to me, and I'm like, would you mind coming to Rotary? And she didn't hesitate. So here's Heather.
Hello. So I wrote a speech, but everybody seems very relaxed. So I think that I'll just get up here and talk a little bit about myself and what I'm doing. So I've been a nurse for 18 years. I spent time in the ICU as a nurse. I then was a manager for Cleveland Clinic. And through that whole time, the one thing I realized about us is that we are great at emergency medicine. We're wonderful at taking people and getting them better after they're sick, but we don't function in this country, we don't focus on wellness. We don't focus on how to not get to that point, how to not get sick. So that was something that just resonated with me over and over through the years. It would be frustrating at times. I would have patients that I would be like, why did you let yourself get to this point? And then a lot of times, a lot of people, especially people that don't have money, they do not come to the hospital until it's too late or it's towards the end. So I wanted to do something that would help with wellness, would give back. A few years ago, my assistant nurse manager, I hired her from LA. And when we started talking, she talked a lot about IV hydration in California and how it's so popular and everyone's getting it. And like, I don't know if you're aware, but like actresses, actors, everybody seems to be into IV hydration. So I did a little bit of research to find out that like in Las Vegas, they started IV hydration over 30 years ago for hangovers, but they started giving IV hydration back then. So I started researching and talking to different owners of IV hydration throughout the country, and I really learned a lot. So one thing that I learned is that IV hydration is not just when you're sick, although I do give a lot of sick IVs. I give viral immunity like crazy in December and now because everyone's got the flu and COVID. That is known. We can't say that it does, but it does in a lot of people, it will help the illness shrink, like shorten, and sometimes it will help you feel better immediately. I have the IV, the migraine cocktail, which that is the same thing that anyone would get going into the ER. And one thing I will say about my business is I work with a medical director. So he gives the orders. He designed the drips. He's been a doctor for close to 30 years, and he does emergency medicine. So we work together, but he's the medical provider over this business. When you would call to get an IV hydration, you also have to go through a telehealth visit to make sure that you are qualified to get that, and that's with a nurse practitioner. So I'm back in school again after getting my doctorate to get my nurse practitioner. It's a certification so that I would be able to do that. Along with that, I also am a wellness coach. So I help people deal with stress, anxiety, sleeping issues, anything that would go along with that, and also with weight loss. So one of the programs that I offer is called Thinner, and it is an all-natural like healthcare program, weight loss program. It lasts about 6 weeks. You work with me. It has an app. You can instant message me anytime you have any questions, any time of the day, as long as I'm awake. And that has been shown to be as good as the GLP-1s. However, there's not been one side effect from this. So it's an all-natural plan. It's vitamins that you take, and then you have an eating plan that you do too. That's very reasonable. So that's kind of what I do. I'm totally focused on wellness, keeping people healthy. About 50% of my clients get like the Myers cocktail or some form of IV hydration that is to maintain health. And one of the reasons that is, and there's a lot of different things that go into it, but when you take vitamins by mouth, you only actually absorb 40%. So when you put vitamins into your bloodstream, you're going to get 100% of those vitamins. So it can help you feel better. A lot of people do IV hydration and they'll get B vitamins, or they'll do like the Myers cocktails, a little bit of everything, because they're tired, or they're running on low energy, and that gives a lot of energy because B vitamins are known to increase your energy. So that's what I do. Does anyone have any questions? I do have flyers across the back and my business card if you're interested.
Thank you for talking with us today. Do you have any? I know you can't like go into specifics and so forth. Can you hear me? No. Turn the switch off. Switch it off. Okay, there we go. A lot better. So I know you can't go into specifics because of HIPAA laws and so forth regarding individuals, but do you have like a success story that you can tell of maybe somebody who, what they were like prior to getting one of your IV drips and how they have been benefiting from it after that, and what are some of the most common things that you're providing your services for? Yeah.
So my favorite story is I had a customer that was from Germany. So he flew in and he was at a hotel, obviously, and he wanted the immunity drip. So when I showed up, I was just surprised because I do offer the jet lag drip too. And, he had jet lag. That's why he was doing the IV service. And I asked him, why did you go with the immunity drip as opposed to my jet lag drip? And he wanted the immunity plus Toradol and Zofran because he was nauseated, he had a headache, he just felt really bad. And he said that since 2021, when he had COVID, he has done IV immunity drips every 2 to 3 months and hasn't been sick. So is it the IV hydration, or is it, just that he's really healthy and he doesn't get sick? That's hard to prove. But I think it's pretty amazing that someone's been doing something for 5 years with COVID and the flu and everything that's going around, and he hasn't been sick at all. And he flies every 3 months for business. He flies here every 3 months. He's an executive. So, for him to be on an airplane that often and not get sick is surprising to me.
Yeah. Airplanes tend to be a little germ tubes.
They are. They definitely are. And what was the second part of your question?
The second part of my question was, what's the most common type service that you're providing? I mean, because you said you do it for a variety of different things and so forth. But like, what's the most popular or the thing that you see the most benefit from, or the people are requesting the most of?
So there are two types of wellness that I do. So as far as the sick wellness, I'm mostly seeing the viral immunity
Okay.
because everybody is sick, seems to be sick right now. And it's interesting, like, I do a lot of couples where one is sick and one isn't. And so I will come out and give the viral immunity to the person that's sick, and then the super immunity to their spouse, so that they hopefully don't get sick. And then I do follow up. So in following up, I haven't really seen any of the spouses get sick, but again, like, you know, there's not enough research done to be able to prove that that's what's actually happening. On the wellness side, I see a lot of NAD. And I think that's a lot of the popularity from the movie stars and everything. So that is they consider it like a biohack drip. Okay. So it actually repairs damaged cells in your body, and it helps reverse everything, and they make claim to reversing aging. So a lot of people want to do that. Yeah. That's probably my most expensive because it takes the longest. That's a drip that you actually do control. Because if it's going too fast, and everybody's different, if it's going too fast for you, it can cause a lot of nasal congestion, and it can cause some stomach cramping. But it's interesting because I've actually had this so that I would know what to tell people, because all the other ones don't cause anything. So, you know, this is the only one that you can actually feel something going on. It's interesting because as soon as you dial it down or slow it down within a minute, whatever the symptom is stops. You will get the nasal congestion, and within 5 minutes of being done with that drip, that disappears. So that's an interesting drip, and that's one that is very popular everywhere right now, and it's because of the claim to biohack and how it reverses damage to our cells.
Thank you.
So are most of your services covered by insurance, or what are the costs to do some of the different drips?
So they're not covered by insurance. We do take the HFA card. We take the healthcare cards. Those are accepted, and we can offer a receipt to get reimbursed. But we don't go through the insurance. So I usually run specials, and like right now, an example is my immunity drip and the Myers cocktail, which is also a very popular one just for wellness. I'm running those at $150. But the most expensive would be the NAD, and that does start at $299, and depending on doses, it goes to $499.
Quick question for you. I'm just reading through your handout here. You may have covered this, maybe you did. This is on the thinner process or whatever. All this stuff is done through an app on the phone as far as regulating it and ordering the product that's displayed in your handout?
Yes, so the initial thinner product, you do have to go through me because I want it to be beneficial, so I do include the coaching in the price of the thinner product. It's $899 right now, and that would be for the product, which is drops that you put under your tongue for 42 days. It includes that, includes the app, which you'll have the app for life. It's not just for the 6 weeks. And then it includes the daily. You can text message through the actual app. You can text, and I can give you advice, or I can give you help. And then I also, if you want to like meet through virtual, I will do virtual health visits with people that are on the thinner product.
So with a lot of us just getting over the holiday, 5 extra pounds around the waist, maybe just me and nobody else. Yeah, we all want to feel better, and a lot of people take the easy way out, the so-called shot or whatever. And do you have to share, like if we were to hire you? I'm naive, okay? You can ask my wife, but do we have to share with our doctor what we're doing if we engage you?
It's a good idea. The thinner product is over the counter,
Okay.
so it is something that you can get without a medical provider. But any diet it's a good thing to cover with your doctor.
Okay. Thank you.
And that is so thinner is a new product, and it was designed to replace the GLP-1s, which are the shots, because the shots do have some side effects, and they can cause gastric slowing. That's a lot of how people lose the weight, is because your everything slows down so that you can't take any more food in, or you can't. So that's the whole reason it was designed, was to help people that can't do the shot. And the weight loss claims are the same as they are with the shot. So I had weight to lose, so I did do thinner, and I'm still doing thinner to so that I can help. I need to understand so that I can help those that reach out to me. And also I had weight to lose. And I'll tell you that it gave me a lot of energy. The first round, I lost 16 pounds. The claim for women is 15 to 25, and for men, I think it's 20 to 35. It's higher, obviously. Men lose weight quicker, and that's unfortunate for us women. But so it does work, and it does give you a lot of energy. And I did notice that I didn't have the shakiness or anything that I had on diets before.
I have not seen the handout, but it might be in there. It sounds like this is like a regular drip. So do you have a port that you use, or do you have to get jabbed every time? For the drip.
Oh, for the drip?
Yeah.
No, you get an IV every time that you get the drip.
So
Yeah.
It's not a port that you have that so you get.
No ports.
You don't want a port?
How often are you, what's the protocol? How often are you getting an IV?
So it really depends. I have a customer that for a while he was getting one every week, and then he's backed up to every 2 weeks. A lot of people really just do this once a month. What they say is, like, you'll get the Myers cocktail and you'll feel better. It's got the vitamins in it. It's got everything in it. And you pretty much want to judge how you're feeling. When you're starting to feel run down and you think that you need a boost is when you would get it again. Or like with the illness ones, they recommend that you get it within the first 2 days of symptoms if you really want to shorten the duration and if you really want to help yourself to get over whatever you're experiencing.
So, are the ingredients that go into these drips, could they go orally as well?
Yeah.
Or is there something about the drip? Obviously, you're bypassing the gastric system here, so you're getting it directly into your. I'm not concerned about how much of a vitamin, because I think we've all heard, your body's gonna, excrete most of the vitamins you have anyway. But that's okay because you get so much more than what you usually need. So. What is there about the drip that is the magic sauce here?
So I think there's multiple magic sauces. If you're sick, just basic hydration in general is going to help you. And I do offer just basic hydration. If you notice, the first thing they do when you go to the emergency room is they give you an IV. And that's because that fluid helps you feel better, because so many of us are dehydrated. It's hard to keep up on drinking enough water and to keep our bodies at full hydration. So that does help. The vitamins that we give in the drips are all common vitamins. So it's like vitamin C, zinc. We have the B vitamins. So everything is pretty common. But when it's in your bloodstream, you're getting it at 100%, as where when you take it orally, your digestive system can't absorb. Only, they say, around 40% is what you absorb.
I have a question about your demographics. What kind of, do you have statistics to talk to where this is most popular? Is it among like a demographic of mid-30s or younger, or is there a reason you're living in Kent? Is there a high interest at the university among the students, actually?
So actually, I've only had one student. I would say I've only been open since August, but my average age range is 30 to 40 is where that's falling. Some 20s. I have one that is an actor, so that's very popular with him to get the NAD and to stay healthy and all of the things. He's younger, but pretty much 30s to 40s is where it's falling right now. I've had older, I've had younger.
Now, one of the things that you mentioned is that you focus a lot on wellness, as opposed to, you're trying to prevent people from getting sick and so forth, as opposed to just treating the symptoms once they do get sick. I think it's, become pretty common knowledge over the past couple of years of all just the nasty chemicals and things that we have in our foods and so forth, pesticides on plants and, vegetables. What are some things that we should be avoiding, from your recommendation that might be causing us some distress on our day-to-day lives? Like, is there certain products, foods or things that really, they might taste really good and, like Fruit Loops or whatever, but...
So many things that taste good or
killing
bad.
you. So what are some things we should be avoiding?
So sugar is huge inflammatory. So that makes arthritis worse. That really, that causes so many problems. And sugar, probably other than the obvious, the smoking and the drinking, sugar is a really dangerous chemical that we all just take in, and it's so much.
Too, isn't it?
It is. It's very addictive. That's why Starbucks has a line around the corner. I can't remember what the amount of sugar in a Starbucks coffee is, but it's outrageous.
Are there things that we could be taking that are sugar substitutes? I mean, because obviously you can tell I like my sugar, so I like my sweets. Are there things that we can be utilizing in place of sugar that will still give us that kind of like dopamine hit from what we get with sugar, but not be as bad for us?
So they do have like the Splenda and all of those, but those are inflammatory agents.
Oh.
So they're not as bad as sugar, but they're still not. You're better really to get natural sugar. So it's better to have
like honey
fruit.
And things like that.
Honey's good.
Honey's good.
Honey's good. Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other questions from the audience today? Oh, I think Marilyn has another one.
One more question about the drips. Are they prepackaged, or do you have a pharmacy component, or just kind of how does this all work?
So when I opened the business, I had to be approved by the Board of Medicine, the Board of Pharmacy, and the Board of Nursing. And with the vitamins and the hydration that I had to get what's called a terminal drug distribution license through the Board of Pharmacy. So that was kind of like the medical director had to fill out a lot of stuff. They had to do basically research on both of us. I had to make sure that I was following all of their procedures, and then I had to have a lot of different policies in place. And then they did come out, since I'm mobile, they came out to my home, and I had to have like a separate room and everything locked down. So that was probably, the Board of Pharmacy is the biggest thing that we have to go through, because we have to make sure that everything is done medically. And although IV hydration clinics a lot of times they're kind of claiming like the med spa side of it, in the state of Ohio, they consider it more like a home health. So we kind of follow home health laws, and some states aren't like that. I know like Vegas is not like that, but Ohio, Texas, there's another one I'm not thinking of right now, are very strict on their laws to make sure that we're following sterile technique, that we're licensed, that we're doing the right things.
Well, you've done an awful lot of research in
Yeah.
order to just set the whole company up as well. That's really quite interesting. How many of these are in Ohio?
How many did you say in Ohio?
Yeah.
I don't know the total number in Ohio, but I do know between med spas and IV hydration clinics, they closed over 30 last year. They sent out an email. The Board of Pharmacy did.
They closed?
They closed them down for a violation. So that's my biggest concern. That's what I am constantly focused on is making sure that I don't violate the Board of Pharmacy's laws and rules. I pretty much have to memorize them. I have a big book at home that tells me what I have to do. So, and I'm in the process of hiring. I do have, originally I had 3 nurse practitioners working for me along with the telehealth group, and I'm bringing on 2 nurses to work with me, and their training will be a good day long with all of we have to go through all of the policies and procedures, and they have to sign off. And then I do go out and I train them to make sure that they're following everything. In Ohio, one of the rules is you can only put 2 vitamins in a bag, and a nurse cannot do that. So that's part of the reason I'm getting my nurse practitioner license. So if most things can be just, we call it IV push, can be pushed through the port on the IV, but some vitamins can't, like NAD cannot. So the nurse practitioners will come to the office, which right now it's in my house, and they will mix those bags, and then they have a 4-hour window where we put them on ice and we take them out to the customer. And that's one of the laws, I think, that's gotten a lot of IV hydration companies in trouble, is that they're bypassing that rule. And that's very important. Like, you have to have a nurse practitioner that's there to mix the vitamins. And
Sure. What kind of geographic territory are you covering?
so right now I have pretty much all of Cleveland, which at times can be like an hour and a half directions from Kent, and Portage Summit and Stark. Most of my business is coming from this local location, though. I've had some customers in Hudson, Kent, Ritztown, mostly Akron. Akron's a big area. But I do have a few in Cleveland. And I think it's all how they pull. When you Google search, you come up with the area that you're closest in. So, and I will be, something exciting in the next week to 2 weeks, I am opening an actual office in Kent, where people can come if they don't want me to come in their home. And when I do that, I will be offering shots. So there's an immunity shot. I'll offer the NAD in a shot form, but I'll be offering like B vitamin shots and D. Like, a lot of people are low on D, so I'll be offering those shots. I do also offer, I haven't started it up yet, but I did get the approval that I'm offering blood draws. So if people are curious on if they're low in a certain vitamin, I can draw labs, and we can send that off to see where everyone's health status is.
Fantastic. All right, any more questions? Oh. You go, Suzanne.
Yeah, I came in late, but I'm interested in the Serenity part. What can you tell me about that?
So that drip is designed for relaxation and to basically to kind of calm the nervous system and to help you relax. And it does also have the B vitamins. So the B vitamin's interesting because it brings energy, but it helps you sleep. So it kind of, it's a really good vitamin for your body. It's in most of our drips.
Any other questions? Oh, we got Marilyn.
Well, you can tell that I'm from a healthcare background, right?
Yes.
All right. What are you doing for marketing?
So marketing's tough. It's very expensive. So I did run with someone that did a little bit of marketing for about a month. But actually, the marketing right now, they say it's best to do like the TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, which I don't really love those videos, but I'm learning. I'm learning to videotape myself talking about the different drips or about the benefits. I did a bunch on thinner recently because I was running a promotion to The Biggest Loser in January. So if you joined before January 1st, you were put into a group, and then whoever loses the most weight in that group will then get the product comped. They'll get the whole 850 comped. So.
Do you partner with any like doctor's offices, chiropractic offices, any other wellness people to kind of like cross sell your services and so forth?
No, the office that I'm opening is I kind of think of it like a mini spa. They do, it's with the traveling spa girl, and she does facials, and then she has products and everything. And then there's someone that comes in and does Botox and lip fillers once a month, and we're going to have lashes and eyebrows, and then there's a nail salon girl there. So that's kind of my partners right now.
Okay.
I have gone around to different gyms to see if they wanted to partner, because we do the athletic fuel. It's a drip, and it's really good for people that are working out heavy, for runners especially. So I've spoke to some gyms, but I'm not into any true partnerships yet.
Okay. It might be good too, maybe some of the high schools, athletic departments and so forth, maybe.
Well, I try to
to
keep it with adults.
Okay.
So I do have the age limit of 18 and over.
Okay. Sounds
So.
good. All right, anybody else? All right, can we have a round of applause? Thank you very much. Very informative. I think it's important for all of us to be mindful of our health, and again, to do everything we can to try to maintain our health. Like I said, for so long, we've always been used to the protocol of, oh, I don't feel well, so let's go get something to make ourselves feel better. You know, the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So thank you again. Appreciate you being here. So do we have any open announcements regarding anything from our club today? Anybody want to make an announcement? Anything going on? Anything in the community that you want to make us aware of? No? I think Tom has something.
So this is, I mentioned this last year. As you may or may not be aware, in Hudson, the Hudson City Schools, we actually charge tuition for all-day kindergarten. I wasn't even aware of this when my son went through school. I can't remember, but it's $3,600 a year, and I don't think that's something that, I can't speak for the rest of the school board, but I don't think that's something we're going to be changing anytime soon, because that would put about an $800,000 hole in our budget, which I'm sure nobody here wants to see their property taxes or whatever kind of taxes are going to fund the schools increase by an amount like that. So I stumbled across something a year ago, or a little over a year ago. It's an opportunity to it's something the state of Ohio put in place called scholarship granting organizations. And you can set up one of these things, and you can use it to fund kindergarten through 12th grade scholarships. Well, we don't need it for first grade through 12th grade, but we have this kindergarten thing. So the opportunity is a donor, I set up one of these organizations, it's called Hudson SGO, and donors can make a contribution to it and receive a tax credit back from the state of Ohio. So essentially, if you and your spouse give $1,500 to this, you get that back from the state of Ohio. So essentially, it's free to the donors. Okay? So this is not like a charitable deduction. I mean, this is a charity, but it's not, people can use it for charitable deductions too, but you can't do both the deduction and the credit at the same time. Yes. And so it isn't a pass-through. You don't pick the child that's going to get the scholarship, but what you do is you give that money to this organization, which I've created along with former Assistant Superintendent Doreen Osmond and former McDowell principal. I'm sorry, I'm blank, it's early. So anyway, the idea is that the money comes in, and then we turn around through an application process and award scholarships. Now, the only requirement is that we have to address low-income students. We have to prioritize low-income students first. and we do that. But last year we were able to give a total of 11 scholarships, so 1 full scholarship and 10 other, like I think there were $1,200 scholarships. I don't remember the exact amount of money. So it reduces the burden upon those parents of those kindergartners. And by the way, if we raise more money, and by the way, Nordonia, the school district over here in Macedonia, they bring in over $250,000 a year in this program now, and they're able to fund a lot of scholarships for every kindergarten student. Partial scholarships, not full scholarships. Go ahead, Rich. Turn it on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I believe when you and I talked about this a year ago, 2 things. The tax credit is maxed out at $1,500.
Yes, for a couple, a couple filing jointly, it's $1,500. Of course, you have to have enough
Tax.
Ohio income tax to cover that. So if
It's not a refundable tax credit.
it is not refundable.
Yeah,
It is
the difference mean that what he's saying is if you have a 0 tax, you're not going to get $1,500 back.
Correct.
You got to have a tax to put it against.
So here's the thing. You want to talk to your tax advisor. It's actually a fairly simple thing in the tax code, the Ohio tax code, and you'd see it on the schedule for tax credits, and if you want to look at it yourself. But you'd want to talk to your tax advisor. But the point that I also wanted to make is I now have living testimonials from last year of people who did this, and it worked exactly the way we expected it to. So.
And Georgia also, not that anybody here lives in Georgia, but Georgia also has the same program. So I have a few clients, about a handful, that have utilized the tax credit. Did it start out, refresh my memory, Tom, because once again, I'm getting old. And by the way, I just got accepted by Medicare, so that's my big announcement.
July for me.
That's the benefit of getting old. But the program started out for Catholic schools, didn't it?
Well, no, it never did. It was certainly designed to benefit parochial schools, not necessarily Catholic schools, but it's being taken advantage of by a lot of religious schools. I mean, it's certainly our legislature was intending to benefit them. We just happened to find a way to apply this to this very narrow aspect of a public school funding thing, which I was glad to do that. It was a gentleman much like yourself, a tax, accounting expert up in the Macedonia area and he's also happened to be a school board president, and he saw the opportunity and said, let's do this. So I followed his model.
So if you need any further instruction or guidance on this, how it works, see Tom Tobin.
Yeah, please. So it's an idea.
Thank you for sharing, Tom.
Tom. He just asked, is it too late? I think it's got to be the year that you make the funding.
No, I'm sorry. That's actually the really good news, is if you make a contribution between now and the time you file your taxes, presumably April or whatever, you get the credit for last year.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, what is that, Rich? Is that like IRAs where you're able to?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the IRA contribution. So this is an opportunity. There's an opportunity over the next few months to still do this and have it apply to last year's taxes.
Well, there you go. That's always nice. Thank you for sharing that, Tom. Anything else before we conclude the meeting? All right. Well, just to give you some idea of what we have coming up here in January. So next week, the 14th, we will be Rotary on the road at Hudson Community Living. So looking forward to another one of our adventures outside of these four walls. The 21st, we have Stephen Kaufman. He is a professor at the University of Akron, and he is going to be doing a presentation on managing your digital footprint, something that is obviously very important these days considering all the dangers out there in cyberspace. And then on January 28th, we will have a club assembly here in the auditorium. Really just want to kind of do a 6-month review of where the club's gone and where we are heading for the remainder of the year. So we do have our Rotobuck raffle. Heather, I'm going to ask that you come up here to do the to draw the lucky winner, if you don't mind, from this little, yeah. I don't know that you have a dog in this hunt, so nobody can yell at me. Yeah. I wish I could tell you what the payout and the jackpot is, but I don't have anything on there, so it's going to be a mystery today. Mystery, so here you go. Okay, and it is lucky number, what the heck is that number? It's either, I can't tell if it's an 8 or, we'll let you decide.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay, lucky number 8. Who has lucky? Okay, come on up. All righty. Oh. He did it! He won the, we have the mystery winner. I wish I could tell you what you won, but you won it, so congratulations. Here's your immediate payout. Okay. All right, we'll get this all handled for you. How much? 211. All right. Very good. Well, congratulations. What a way to start out the new year, right? With winning the Rotabuck raffle. So with that, we will end with our inspirational quote for the week, and I think this is appropriate as we start out to a new year. So the quote is, learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. And that is from Albert Einstein. So with that, I conclude our meeting for the week.